The thing was, I had a backpack and I just didn't bring any books to school that day. I just brought the gorilla costume. So as you can tell, I was very academically inclined.
And I remember those 2 weeks, I drank magnesium citrate. I want to say like 8 times.
Isn't that a laxative?
Correct, yeah.
Dude, it seems like syphilis is God's final push to keep us humble. Like, you motherfuckers can't just keep living forever.
And I said no fucking way and tried to find that and didn't clear the search history.
Oh, no, dude.
Wow.
And welcome back to A Couple of Fellas. Introduce yourselves.
Oh, it's me.
Yeah.
Hey, guys. It's Sean.
Hey, guys, it's Dylan.
Some return guests to the podcast, dude. Some of fan favorites. You guys have been demanded by the audience.
Given that you are most of the audience, yes, you've been demanded by the audience.
I was going to say I have been demanding myself a bit.
I think that's the first time I've ever been demanded by anyone.
No, that can't be true.
Well, no, it's just kind of a self-deprecating joke, but thanks for calling me out on that.
You're just hanging out with the boys. Do you see how perfectly styled your hair is? I can't imagine that you're not in demand all the time.
Oh, yeah, dude. I'm rocking the hardcore Johnny Bravo hair.
Oh, Johnny Bravo. Man.
Get off me, mama.
Which was such a weird show for kids when you think about it. It was a 30-something-year-old man who lived with his mom.
Whose best friend was a little girl down the street and just was an incel.
I mean, now that I think about it, well, not now that I think about it, I've been thinking about it for a while. Is like looking back at cartoons that I watched as a kid, they were all insanely inappropriate. Like Ren and Stimpy. Have you seen some of the replays of that?
Oh, yeah. One of the highlights of cartoons is going back to them as an adult and seeing where things were terrible and fucked up. By the way, Dylan, guns free. You can swear now.
Poopy!
Yes, dude.
Yeah, that's right.
But anyway, what were you thinking about all of these continuous thoughts about your childhood cartoons and how they've scarred you subconsciously?
Well, I mean, I don't know if they scarred me subconsciously, but yeah, I don't watch too many cartoons, but yeah, looking back, like Ren and Stimpy, I mean, even some SpongeBob stuff, I've seen them, like, they really let us watch this stuff.
My favorite part about SpongeBob is all the names. Sandy Cheeks, Bikini Bottom, like Mr. Krabs.
I actually looked into Bikini Bottom. So Bikini Bottom doesn't actually mean the bottom of a bikini. It's like Bikini Bottom is like the sand bottom of the beach or something like that, the sand bottom of the ocean.
Really?
Yeah, there's like a secondary meaning.
I would have definitely thought it was the lower part of a bikini
swimsuit. Like a cute top and a cute bottom.
I saw also with SpongeBob like a thing about how Pearl was actually not Mr. Krabs' daughter, but his sugar baby.
Ooh! Okay, you need to line out this fan theory for me.
Okay.
Right now.
I think that was the majority.
He does have a lot of money.
He has a lot of money.
And she's thick.
I do not think they're related genetically, and she's just, she gets whatever she wants. She wants him to pay for everything. She kind of dresses like a little suggestively for SpongeBob.
Wait, doesn't she call him daddy?
Exactly.
Oh my God, you might be onto something, internet. Oh my God. But anyway, that sounds like a dream to have a stepdaughter of a whale. On that, or sugar baby
sounds
of
like
a whale. Speaking of dreams, on that super slick slide into this segue.
Segue is Paul Blart.
Yep.
Oh, God. Oh, man, I almost said blasting, and now John won't not say it. I'm sorry. I've ruined everything. We'll try to get past that. Dreams. We're talking about dreams.
All right, let's
not
start
the Minecraft
blasting,
guy. Anyway, we were talking a little bit last night about some of the crazier dreams, dream experiences, lucid dreams, sleep paralysis, and I think it was incredibly gripping. I think we should go around and share some of those. Steve, honestly, I don't remember if you talked about it on the podcast, but I want you to crack this wide open and get inside to start us off. What was your terrifying experience of your own accord?
So, yeah, I've definitely had lucid dreams before and recurring dreams. There was one I had recurring when I was like really little, and I was like in hell. And I don't know if I knew like what hell was at the time, but there was definitely like devils and like fire and stuff everywhere. Something deep in my genetic subconscious, I think, like just kept bringing me back there. And it wasn't even all that scary. I think the Count from Sesame Street was a recurring character in this dream too. Because as a child,
Nice.
that like vampire was the closest thing I could think of to Satan, maybe.
Because he makes you do math.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
He's a vampire.
but also it was a very friendly depiction of hell.
Yeah, that's not too bad. But what about the paralysis? I want to hear about that. Explain.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So I've never lucid dreamed on purpose, but I have lucid dreamed. But I've had sleep paralysis once, and it was on purpose. That's never been happened by accident. That seems terrifying. Have you guys ever gotten like sleep paralysis before?
So just to clarify, this is what I think sleep paralysis is. That's
Okay.
like when you wake up but you can't move, and don't you see like a weird demon thing in your room? Is that the thing?
I don't think that the demon is a necessary part of sleep paralysis, but I think that sleep paralysis often is tied to nightmares or, kind of that semi-waking weird state where you might be seeing shit because your brain is still half dreaming. So I do think that a lot of sleep paralysis stories have creepy guy in the corner, monster climbing out of the closet, demon looking at me. We all shared the same red-eyed demon dream, right?
No.
Not me. I have had.
Was that
sleep
just me last night?
I have had what I think. I don't know if this is sleep paralysis, but I remember we were going down to Liberty College in Virginia for the wrestling tournament, and I couldn't stay awake like on the drive down because I was in the middle of like doing a big coding project for CSE 1010. It's a computing class for coding. And I remember I fell asleep in the passenger side seat, and I like woke up and I couldn't fucking move. I was stinking move. I was sitting in, I was sitting
No,
in the
you can swear, it's fine.
I was sitting in the car seat, and I just remember like waking up and I was like, I can't, this is terrifying. I can't move. And it was only like 5 seconds. So,
Yeah.
But my most recent dream wasn't actually, you guys know who was in my dream. I don't want to I don't
Dox
know.
him, yeah, right.
Yeah, but
Dream docs.
he actually he went to my high school. That's why we were in my high school cafeteria, and for some reason he was angry at somebody else in my high school cafeteria, and they were in a fight, but they weren't physically, punching each other. They were throwing my vitamin D pills at each other. And I was getting super upset because
I need that for immune support.
It was expensive, dude. Keeping your body healthy is expensive. So I got super upset at them, and then, I woke up.
That sounds like the worst nightmare I've ever heard.
Yeah, that's pretty terrible.
How do you make it through the day when you have nightmares like that?
It's hard for a man like me.
It's all right. Yeah,
You gotta
you're a
make it
hard
through.
man. Stay hard. I can see that you're hard right now. Is that because you and John are cuddled up together on the couch? That is the downside of 2 microphones and 4 people, but it is very cute the way you two are draped across one another.
For the viewers at home, me and Dylan are literally sitting cheek to cheek so we can share this microphone, and I'll let you guys figure out which cheeks we're talking about.
2 points on that. There are no viewers at home because this is not a video podcast. And if there were viewers, you wouldn't have to describe it because they'd be viewing it.
My apologies. For the subscribers at home, we're literally sitting cheek to cheek, and I'll let you guys decide which cheeks are sitting next to each other.
Thank you. I'm glad that you retraced those steps for us.
I'm here to clarify for the people at home.
I haven't had sleep paralysis that I remember explicitly. Maybe when I was like a kid and, dreamed or nightmared more often, but none that really stand out. Either of you guys, Dylan, you had sleep paralysis in the car. Steve, you did it to yourself on purpose. John, what about you? Any sleep paralysis?
Not necessarily what I would call sleep paralysis. Many times I'll wake up and be far too lazy to move, and then I just go back to sleep. That doesn't really strike me as paralysis. I think that's just straight up laziness, though. But I'm afflicted by that fairly regularly.
Regular laziness? Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah, Rolling Stone guy, there's no moss, but a still stone doesn't move, and I'm a still stone, baby. I'm a boulder.
A still stone doesn't move. Thank you, John, for the definition.
I am here to accumulate moss.
I'm a mossy lad.
The pioneers used to ride those babies for miles.
Dude, sleep paralysis seems like a sick way to like get out of literally anything. Like, oh, sorry, I was late, dude. I was literally paralyzed all morning.
It lasted hours. I can't believe it. It's never happened like this.
This is my condition, and you have to be okay with it. Sorry.
I mean, what are they going to say?
Ever heard of the Americans with Disabilities Act? You better not be discriminating
Yeah,
against
what are they
my
gonna do,
sleep
arrest
conditions. Sleep police, dream police. Yeah.
Actually, speaking of conditions, imagine being narcoleptic and your thing is you just fall asleep whenever.
Oh, what a
Imagine if you
dream.
just fall asleep at work all the time. You're like, oh, I'm narcoleptic. That's my excuse. That's why I'm falling asleep all the time in the office.
Is narcoleptic when you really like narcotics?
No, but that would be a great term for that. No, narcoleptic for the subscribers.
There
at
we go.
home. Hell yeah. Accuracy. Is when you basically just fall asleep randomly. It's like Tourette's, but instead of swearing and saying inappropriate stuff and twitching, you fall asleep.
Oh, dude, it's wild. There's people with Tourette's with some of the craziest tics, man. I've seen people just, I don't know, there's people on Twitch and stuff who like have like built a whole community around it. And the fact that these people are brave enough to live stream themselves just like saying the worst things and nobody believes them like ever. Everyone thinks they're faking it all the time.
Actually, so I was on vacation like 2 weeks ago and I ran into someone who's probably in the worst job position for someone with Tourette's. They were customer service and they were a waitress with Tourette's.
Oh no.
And I was like, oh my God, you either clean up on tips out of pity or nobody likes ordering with you.
What if your tick was spiking whatever's in your hand? Whole platter full of drinks and stuff. Fuck! Just slam it on the ground like Gronk after a touchdown.
What if that was also the most profitable waiter / waitress because there's no free refills and like you break it, you buy it? The restaurant's like, we haven't had to pay this waitress in years because she just breaks everything. We just keep taking it out of her paycheck.
I think we're building a strong argument for faking Tourette's. Freedom to do whatever you want.
The freedom.
Sorry, my tick is murder. I just can't help it. You know, it's like, I wish I could. I've done everything I could think of.
And sometimes when I murder, I also yell balls, but that's involuntary.
Imagine though, that's how you die. If someone with Tourette's murders you, and as you're dying and you see the light fading, they just say balls.
I would rather go out. I would not. I would choose to go out that way over any other way of dying.
It reminds me of every kill cam in Call of Duty.
Dude, yeah, I think I'd much rather have my murderer at least like say something ridiculous at the end. You know, keep the light alive.
If you guys had to be murdered, paint your dream murder scenario for me. How would you want this to go? Is this a serial killer, a crime of passion, your lover, a family? Like, how's this going down? You're getting murdered. Best case. Give me the picture.
I mean, unironically, I just would not want to see it coming. If it just came out of nowhere and then I'd lights out.
Death by Snoo Snoo, probably.
Death by Snoo Snoo is a good choice, and not see it coming is also, that's a pretty, I think that might be one of the most important parts in an ideal murder. It would kind of suck if you were like waiting days in a cage or something.
Mm-hmm.
How insensitive is this?
I don't want to ever die from a serial killer because then I'm just another statistic. You
Yeah,
know?
just another notch on their belt, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
Notch on their belt.
What are you gonna? You're dead. What do you care though?
Nah, man, legacy matters. No one remembers Jeffrey Dahmer's like fourth victim. Like,
That's true.
yeah, who was that
Or
guy?
first or 30th.
No, but there was that one victim. Was Jeffrey Dahmer the guy who like
He did eating and
he, like,
shades.
But didn't
Yeah.
he kidnap like he would like kidnap like gay dudes and then he'd like lobotomize them. And I remember one of his victims escaped mid lobotomy. But this is like back in the past where like cops were like super uncomfortable, or people in general were just really uncomfortable with gay people. So this kid escaped, was partially lobotomized, naked, was like bleeding, and these cops found him. And then Jeffrey was just like, "Oh, this is just my boyfriend's." Like, it was some weird sex stuff, and they were just so uncomfortable.
Oh, because the guy like didn't really speak English well either, so he couldn't really talk to the cops, and yeah, Jeffrey had to talk to them for him.
And they're like, I guess this is what gay people do. They drill holes in
I
people's
don't know, some gay
heads.
shit.
They escape naked. You know what, man? I just don't want to think about it. Just take this boy home.
Dude, speaking of weird gay stuff, I
Great
was
segue.
I was
Finally, a topic I can talk about.
from experience. No, so in Turkey they have everyone has to join the military when they turn 18, but over there they still consider homosexuality a mental illness. So if you can prove that you're gay, you don't have to join the military.
How do you prove that?
You have to supply the government with photos of you either getting fucked or sucking dick, because in Turkey it's
Wow.
not considered gay to have sex to fuck a man, but it is considered gay to be fucked by a man.
Wow.
And you have to supply the government with like proof that you did like either one of those two. Also, it's not gay for a guy to suck your dick.
So you basically have to be an amateur porn star to get out of the military.
Yeah,
Because that would make you low-key a porn star, right? If you like have videos or pictures of you committing sexual acts.
Are you a porn star if you don't get paid? I
Wait,
guess
so
Yes, amateur porn stars don't get paid. Like I feel like a lot of Pornhub and all that. Yeah, I feel like a lot of like Pornhub is like amateurs. I'm assuming they don't get paid. Maybe they do. Maybe they're trying to like set up a good foundation for their OnlyFans. Though.
I'm pretty sure if it's getting posted that there's like a view compensation type thing. Like, well, actually, no. There's a ton of people that are just like, this is my thing. Check me out.
Well, no, that was a huge thing on Pornhub recently. There were like Visa and MasterCard and stuff like weren't letting their cards be used on Pornhub because there was a ton of porn that was like exploitative and people were getting paid for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So now it's all just like professional porn and stuff.
Question-
Apparently.
question about the
I wouldn't know.
Turkish military.
Yeah.
So on your 18th birthday, you have to join the military?
Enlist or whatever it
Or
is.
suck
yeah.
a dick.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say, dude, if it's your 18th birthday, everything before that is below 18. So
I don't
is
know
the Turkish
consent
government
laws.
demanding gay child porn from its citizenry?
Well, they're not demanding it. They hope that you don't do it. But I honestly don't know if it's when you turn 18. I just know that it is like, required enlisting like Israel is. But I don't know if it's on your
South
18th
Korea too,
birthday.
actually.
Wild.
That's a tough decision to put on 18-year-old. Like either join the. I'm just saying.
That's
I
a
feel.
heavy load.
John, I don't want to quote the woke literature on this, but I think the argument in maybe truth is it's not a decision.
Oh no. Well, I'm assuming it's not just like gay people who are using this. I'm assuming there's people who are trying to milk the system. But I'm just saying at
Not
18
just the
it's either nice. At 18, your choice is either join the military or become a amateur gay porn star.
Yeah.
Star might be an exaggeration. I don't know what kind of market there is for these videos in Turkey. I'm sure it goes in your permanent file or whatever that the government has on you.
So that's what the permanent record is for. I was always worried about that in middle school and high school. And then I realized it didn't really matter. Like when you got in trouble and they're like, this is going on your permanent record. I'm like, oh no, colleges are going to see this. Colleges don't care that you had detention once.
What is the abstract permanent record? I remember, even in middle school, like when I got a in-school suspension for spiking my friend's peanut butter and jelly sandwich when we were all playing volleyball with it in the back of the classroom. I am the only one who got suspended. That bitch. But permanent record was immediately like, that's my number one concern. Like, I'll deal with the punishment. I'll do the work I have to do in this stupid side portable room. But is this going to be permanent? And now looking back, what would that have been? Like, it's not like your report cards have behavior right below English and math.
Well, I remember I was genuinely worried about the permanent record because for middle school, I had like some sort, I'm trying to remember exactly what the class was, but it was like some video class or something like that. And for some reason, we're like, oh, this will be funny. And I dressed up we had like a courtyard in the middle of the school where all these classrooms looked out onto. So during like, was it standardized state testing, I put on a full like kind of realistic gorilla suit and went into the courtyard being videotaped to get the reactions of like people in class. And I got in a lot of trouble for it. Like we didn't ask my teacher for permission and the teachers were not happy about it at all that I was just out in a gorilla suit and distracting these kids who were taking like, the exam didn't really matter, but I guess it mattered for school funding.
The SAT or whatever.
And they're like, this is going on your permanent record. I'm like, oh no, now I won't be able to get into high school.
So, you go for your first job interview. So, John, we see here that you once dressed up as a gorilla to distract a bunch of students.
In 7th grade.
Yeah, taking a standardized test.
Hey.
What was that about?
Hey, baby, that's showbiz. Gotta hit him with the razzle dazzle.
It's funny to me, especially that you did this in middle school, because that means you didn't have an income to buy the gorilla suit. You didn't drive yourself to school with the gorilla. Like, you either got on the bus, your parents helped you get this like some other people had buy-in. This couldn't have been completely an autonomous John decision. You were enabled.
Oh no.
Takes a village.
Well, no, the thing
To
was
ruin a permanent record.
the thing was I had a backpack and I just didn't bring any books to school that day. I just brought the gorilla costume. So as you can tell, I was very academically inclined for a young age.
Yeah.
I was willing to give up a whole day of schoolwork just for the sake of this gorilla suit prank.
You're more of a big picture guy, and I think that's very clear by this.
Oh yeah, I feel like it set me up very well for life. Taught me a lot of solid lessons.
Yeah. I feel like you learn a lot more like in one day in a gorilla suit than you do in a whole semester of math class, honestly.
Yeah, man. That's why now I'm like, I very much so appreciate like environmentalists and trying to save animals because I wore a gorilla skin for a whole day.
Because I did walk a mile in those gorilla shoes.
And gorillas walk very uncomfortably. It's super hard in a gorilla costume to walk around that knuckle walk. Like, gorillas have way longer arms than humans. We are not built to walk like that.
And I'm fucking method, baby.
Did we just figure out Bigfoot? John, was this you this whole time?
No, it was only one night. I was just one day. I was just a freelancer. But yeah, if I was willing to do it, there's definitely someone who's far more committed than me. So it's possible.
Yeah, I mean, have you ever seen Daniel Day-Lewis's gorilla? It's incredible, impeccable. Honestly, he's got the accent down and everything.
Isn't Daniel Day-Lewis like the super known for method acting?
Yeah, exactly.
I remember hearing like a quote where it was like this guy, like I think it was Daniel Day-Lewis, but I'm not sure it was someone else, and he was like he had to imitate someone who was like act as someone who's sleep deprived. So instead, in order to do so and like do a good performance, he just stayed awake for like 3 days straight. And his co-star is like, "Have you ever tried just acting?"
That's a hot take. Is method acting actually the lowest quality form of acting?
I say so because that means you have like no real ability. You're like, all right, well, I can't like pretend to do this. I'm just going to
Do it for real.
I'm just going to do it for real. I remember like Shia LaBeouf, I think, was in some military movie.
Mm.
And in order to imitate being in like the midst of war, he like didn't shower for like weeks or something and did like a boot camp. And apparently all of his co-stars hated it. Also, I'm not completely sure if this Shia LaBeouf really happened, but I think I read this somewhere, and you know what? It's worth bringing up.
Yeah, absolutely. I wonder what like the worst thing to have to method act is. Like,
Probably losing like an amputee or something like that.
Yeah, I'm a Lieutenant Dan method actor.
Well, Christian Bale was pretty hardcore because he lost like a lot of weight, and then he also got really fat, and then he also got really jacked.
Imagine having that control over your own body.
Well,
Imagine having
steroids.
the backing of millions and millions of dollars of studios, trainers, dietitians, and having everything laid out for you, not having to do anything but follow the instructions provided.
I mean, some of these roles though, they weren't expensive. Like the machinist, I think he had like a Granny Smith apple and a cup of coffee every day, and that was it.
That sounds literally like hell. That sounds like facing the count in hell at
Yeah.
6 years old.
I feel like if you throw in like Adderall, that's like a lot of college kids' diets.
Just swap the apple for ramen. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's about the same budget. Like, no, I don't want something all natural though. Just give me them cheap carbs and sodium.
The most extreme dieting I ever did was high school cutting weight for wrestling. And I think it was piece of fruit in the morning, can of dry tuna, and a bunch of lettuce plain at lunch. And then I just did like a 40% portion of whatever we had for dinner. And doing that for 1.5 weeks was everything that I could. That's the most. And I've never done that again. And I told my coach afterwards I would never do it again. So I think I'm ready to become the machinist.
Yeah, I like how short the span that you have to like cut the weight is, because I remember because you had to qualify at a certain weight or else you couldn't cut any more weight during the season. And I remember those 2 weeks I drank magnesium citrate. I want to say like 8 times.
Isn't that a laxative?
Correct. Yeah. No, because I wouldn't eat, and then I would eat dinner, and then I would drink the bottled magnesium citrate, and then go for my nightly run, and then jumble everything up.
And I'd be empty by the end of the run.
Empty. Absolutely. Not by the end of the run. No, I got home first. I didn't empty during the run.
Yeah, you brought around every day in school, instead of like a spit bottle the way some wrestlers did, he had 1 bottle of magnesium citrate and 1 empty bottle that he would just put under the desk.
Yeah, no, I used it as propulsion on my run.
Dude, I remember weight certifications, like kids cheating so that they could like get their weight lower. Like one of the things was they took your height so they could get your BMI so they could know how low you could healthily cut to.
Right, and I'm 220 pounds. I can cut 1.5 pounds.
But I remember kids, because of that, they would try to fake their height to be lower. So when we would like go in the beginning of the season, they would wear like the baggiest sweatpants they could, like sagged low so you couldn't tell they were bending their knees. And I remember them just like standing up against the measuring tape and the trainer being like, stand up straight. And they're like, I am. And then it was just a fight every time. Like they'd slightly unbend their knees, like, okay, fine. Slightly unbend it, still clearly bent, like, stand up straight. I am, like a yelling match between them, dude. Oh,
It's like reverse like NFL and NBA and college stats, you know, where like all the athletes are like actually 3 inches taller, like or their stats say like, oh, they're all 6'5". Then you see them in person, like you're like 6'2".
I think they gave me 6'3" on my high school football stats, and I'll be
Yeah, me
honest,
too.
I'm 6'1" if I stretch now. I think I've literally lost an inch. I was like 6'1 3/4", which is acceptable to say 6'2", I would say, for, you know, since high school when I kind of finished growing. That's buns on its own. And yeah, the last time I went to get a physical, I'm literally like 6 foot and 5/8 or some bullshit. All of my spine injuries and surgeries, I've literally lost an inch of height by 25, and that makes me very upset.
I actually think I grew an inch during quarantine because
Fuck
before
you.
quarantine, I was like 5'11 3/4". So obviously I lied and said I was 6 feet tall,
right.
but I felt bad about it. You know, I knew I was living a lie, but then I got measured in my last physical during quarantine and I was 6 foot and 3/4 of an inch. So now
Wow.
I'm 6'3".
Okay, well, it's time for us to stand next to each other because I am still taller than you, so one of our doctors is lying, and I hope it's mine.
It's probably yours.
Yes, I'm 6'2" again. On the topic, briefly, of the weight cutting and qualification stuff from wrestling, I think I had a bit of an old school coach because our wrestling room it was in like the old high school in the town, you know, like 1898 type brick building, shit building. And we had plastic over all of the windows, sealing it off, and 2 heaters in each half of the room. So it was like a 93-degree wrestling room. And when we went to do our weight qualifications, I remember our coach saying, when you wash your hands after you pee, it's okay if the cup is like next to the sink and you kind of splash some when you're washing your hands.
Actually, speaking of weight certifications, I remember one of the worst practices I had in high school was because we did all of our weight certifications. And afterwards, the nurse found like a water bottle with some pee in it in the garbage can. So one kid thought it was a drug test. So he brought clean pee in for the certification.
In high school?
So what happened though was, yeah, but they were just smoking weed. I don't think it was like hardcore. Actually, I don't know. Darian had a pill problem, so it could have been hardcore. But so they found that out. And during practice, this was before our first match. Oh, sorry. I was just correcting position on the mic for the subscribers back home.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
You want to choke up on that? 2 hands, rotate them counterclockwise as you pull it closer to your mouth and back.
You want it in your throat.
Oh, I don't want to do that.
Okay.
But so the coach said, hey guys, like we found out that someone thought this was a drug test. Our first match is next week. Someone's gonna fess up. Until someone fesses up, we're gonna have the hardest practice ever. And they just ran us through mad conditioning for like 2 hours with a timer set. And they said, if this hits 0, we're forfeiting our first match. So they just started doing brutal conditioning, waiting for someone to break and fess up. And about an hour and a half in, no one's fessing up. We killed our 220-pounder. Like he had a heat stroke.
In the hospital.
Oh yeah, it was. His name was Rashad, but he had heat stroke, like semi-heat stroke, collapse. It was like his 3rd day of practice or 4th day of practice. It wasn't going well for him, and no one's fessing up. And then we realized there were 3 kids in the team who weren't at practice who got weight certified. So one of them was like, "Coach, can I go and like call the kids not here?" And they're like, "Yeah, sure." Came down to 5 minutes left. Turns out the kid who cheated wasn't even at practice.
Of course.
We found out
he was high somewhere else.
and he had the worst excuse
He had
too.
sleep paralysis.
He had the worst excuse too, though, where, oh yeah, I just have a really sensitive bladder, so I just didn't want to wait for my morning piss, so I just pissed in a water bottle and then I brought that. I'm like, horrible excuse, but it works. Like,
Wait. That's actually not the worst excuse for the situation, because I think more often than not, when I've had to take a piss test, a hydration test, anything, I have forgotten and pissed within like an hour of it. I remember that being an issue during my high school wrestling qualification weight stuff because I would just go to the bathroom when I had to. Like I think I had to retest. I failed the hydration because I had completely emptied my bladder 20 minutes beforehand and then could only squeeze out a couple of those real last amber colored drops.
Well, I don't think I've ever had a problem like peeing for a test. I remember going to the doctor. It was like a performance anxiety thing where I'm like, I hope I'll be able to pee because they don't give you that long. You can't be chilling for 20 minutes in the bathroom waiting to pee because the doctor has things to do. I should have things to do.
And I filled 6 cups, so it wasn't an issue.
Yeah, but I just remember cheating on the whole water thing a lot. Like I was like, I didn't know how much water to add, so I just added way too much. It was like,
I think none is the correct amount.
oh yeah, my pee was like darker than mead. Like that was like, it was amber fluid.
I'm supplying my pee from concentrate.
It was apple juice concentrate, essentially.
Right. Oh, man. So Zane,
Yes.
congrats on med school, buddy. Long time coming. Has that even come up on
seriously,
the
man,
podcast
congrats.
yet?
Yeah, I don't think it has.
The only thing that's come up is a lot of episodes where I said I'm still waiting and had no answer and was getting sadder.
Oh, hell yeah. So for the subscribers back home, Zane got into med school and he will be leaving in the next couple weeks.
Yeah. Oh, that's a lot of fur everywhere.
That's a lot of Freya hair. Yeah, you dragged your hand along the carpet and we found another dog.
Thanks, Steve. Podcast is ruined. Your fault.
But yep, 27 days from today, I will be beginning my 2,000-mile, 30-hour drive to Texas. Fingers crossed I make it there. If not, it has been fantastic knowing all of you and being a part of the fellas.
I have faith in you making it just because that'd be a really anticlimactic way for you to go out.
Well, now that you're technically a doctor, I feel like you could kind of like patch yourself up.
Yeah, but not the Jeep and everything if I go off speaking of bridge or going off a bridge, which I was about to say, not yet speaking of it, the drive that I had planned goes down through Tennessee into Arkansas, and there is a major bridge that spans the river that separates Memphis from Arkansas. And literally the day after I charted out this drive, planned all of my stops along the way, got everything ready to like, okay, here's the game plan. They found a massive structural crack. I don't know if you guys saw this on the news. Like one of the lengthwise going across the river girders snapped all the way through. Like they have months of repairs planned for this bridge. I'm a little dismayed, but what you gonna do?
Little rerouting.
Yeah, so you're going to try to cross it anyway?
Yeah, so that's if you don't hear from me,
respect.
I found the crack in the bridge. I'm going to help with the engineering on my way to school.
Does that mean you have to plan an alternate route, or are you still going to stick true to what you already planned?
No, I'm just not going to go to med school after all.
Oh, okay, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah, there's a lot of other bridges, and after this one, I wouldn't trust any of them, honestly.
Yeah, planes, way too risky. Boat travel, Texas isn't accessible by boat, and now bridges are lost to me. I think I'm stuck on this side of the Mississippi for life.
Is Texas not accessible by boat? I thought it was.
They've got hundreds and hundreds of miles of coastline, John, yes.
Okay, yeah.
Down by the Gulf of Mexico.
So I think I was also supposed to be in geography class when I was doing that gorilla soup prank. And you can really see how this is ringing. It's the butterfly effect.
So you guys going to be visiting me down in Tejas?
Oh, hell yeah.
I hear there's great barbecue
Absolutely. I really like Texas.
because they do
never
lots of
being
meat.
been there. I don't even know if that's
I love
grammatically
the
correct.
idea of Texas.
Yeah, no, I really do love the idea of Texas.
Maybe
Never
you'll
in
finally-
Texas for nationals?
Never know.
Maybe you'll finally hit 6 feet when you go there because everything is bigger.
What are you talking about? I'm 6'1".
Haha, John. 5'11 and 3/4 ass motherfucker.
Excuse me, I'm 6 foot and 3/4.
Yeah, he grew. He's a better person now. Welcome to the club, buddy.
I think it was quarantine, like the burden of life is really lifted from my shoulders, so I didn't have to socialize with people every day. So I think that really just lets me sprout.
Very nice. So now, have you updated your Tinder to say 6'1" if we're going with the same level of roundup as previously?
No, I updated my Hinge to say I'm 6'3".
Yeah, I'm sure that won't have any disappointment in person.
No, don't worry. I also got like Thursday brand boots, wonderful pair of boots. They had on 2 inches, so I just wear those in the first stage.
No shot they had 2 whole inches.
They do
maybe
if you wear them
1
to
and a half
bed, too.
inches, but it's close enough. Also, all the girls I'm seeing are like 5'2" to 5'6". They're not gonna know.
All the girls I'm seeing.
Okay, all the girls I have seen.
It's a good thing that we don't dox you. There's a lot of Johns in the world, and nobody knows which Johns we're friends with, so
What's bad is though, my last 2 girlfriends were both like 5'2", so my parents keep making fun of me for only dating dwarfs. Which like I don't think 5'2" is that short.
Yeah, that's so short. Imagine being close to 5'2". That'd be ridiculous.
I think 5'2" is more inches away from. All right, I don't know how the words have changed on this one, but whatever the rumor or common knowledge that I was shared in high school was that if you are 4'10" or under, you are, quote, dwarf or whatever the status is.
It's a little person, I think is the politically correct term, but yes.
No, I think little person is if you have like achondroplasia or one of the genetic things that is previously referred to as dwarfism. But somehow I heard this rumor. I don't know if it's real or not. That 4'10" and below is the cutoff
Yeah,
for
I heard that
something,
too.
right? Yeah. So 5'2" is 4 inches from that. And I think 5'2", as tiny as that is closer to Dylan's height than it is to actual the dwarf cutoff.
So I have a friend who's
Mad respect.
I have a true. I have a friend who's 4'11", so I'm just pretty sure the 4'10" like holds weight because she's been asked before. Oh, are you a legal? Can we say midget? I'm gonna say midget. Are you a legal midget? And she's like, no, 4'10" is the cutoff. I'm 4'11".
Nice. Good for her.
Hell yeah, dude.
We stand a tall midget.
Dude, the beginning of the 90s is as close to us as 2050. Actually, we're closer to 2050.
I'm closer to 30 than 21 now.
Ha! You're old and growing taller?
Yeah,
Fuck you, man.
Just wait. When you're 25, you get your growth spurt. Oh wait, no, I think you are 25. So you should be due for your growth spurt.
Yeah, I had friends that grew in college, like a lot. I had a friend who was maybe 6'2", 6'3" in high school, and when I saw him after his first year in college, he was 6'7", and I have not grown at all since I was 15 years old.
Same.
Kind of shitty, honestly.
Yeah.
Can you tell
Sucks.
that I've actually been butthurt about this? I have 14 wide feet, and I am shrinking.
Your feet are 14?
Yes.
Damn,
Wide.
baby. Good for you.
Yeah, mine are 11 wide, but they're 9.5 long. Actually, one is 9 long, and then one's 9.5 long.
Damn, dude, you got all sorts of problems.
You're actually half duck.
Mad respect, though.
Mad respect for the ducks out there. Shout out. What's up?
And speaking of ducks, that brings us to a word from our sponsors. Have you ever wanted duck?
Do you have an insatiable appetite for breadcrumbs?
Do you think that a corkscrew penis might fit your lifestyle better than the penis you currently have or do not have?
Because boy, do we have the species for you.
Duck.
Go get one.
Hey guys, so after that word from our sponsors, I just want everyone to know you don't have to actually buy a duck. If you go to the park, they're free.
Dude, that's going to cut into our ad revenue. Shut up. We want them to buy duck from our sponsor.
The subscribers have to know there's actually no laws that keep you from taking ducks home with you. You can technically take as many ducks from the park as you can get home.
Ducks are beholden to no man.
The only limitation is the limitations you set upon yourself.
And we are addicted to our limitations.
Adducted, if you will.
Ducks are actually one of my favorite birds.
Why?
I F with them, man. They're like, so
It's
would you consider them,
penis,
are
isn't
they
it?
considered like birds? Because fish are like prey. So are they
Fish
like,
considered
are they,
birds?
well, no, like are they considered birds of prey? Because like fish are prey, I guess, right?
Do
But
ducks
I was
eat
going to say they're
fish?
my favorite bird, not of prey, but I think you can probably consider them birds of prey, but
I
not.
don't think that ducks primarily hunt fish. I think bird of not prey would be an appropriate
Okay, they're my favorite.
classification.
Yeah, they're my favorite bird that's not of prey.
Have you guys ever had any interactions with geese? Because I hate geese.
They're the worst animal.
I went to the park once when like deep in COVID, and I had some barley, right? I don't know why I had barley. I think my mom just gave it to me. She was like, I don't need this. Do you want it? I'm
Like a
yeah.
bale or
No, it was
carton?
like a bag of like dried barley or something. And I went and I was like, I'm gonna be the most poppin' dude at the park, and I'm gonna have all this food for geese. And I go and there's mad geese at the park, right? So I threw them a handful of like barley, but then they didn't go for it. Instead, these geese saw that I had more in my hand that I was giving out.
you
and that-
motherfucker, you're holding out on us.
essentially, and they started like ganging up on me, and that's how I had like 10 geese that were just slowly moving in, and then I just shotgunned them with barley to get them away from
And we wonder why the geese don't like people.
Oh, and then they hated me after that. When you go shotgun approach and just pelt geese with barley, that's
my
like, I think it's one of their pet peeves because they did not like me. They started squawking, they started moving in more. It did the opposite of what I was hoping.
I'm not 100% certain, but judging by your kidnapping of ducks and your assault of geese, I think you might want to stay away from public parks, John. I don't think that you have the best relationship with these animals.
Whoa. I don't need to stay away from public parks. They need to stay away from me.
He's a walking risk. Ducks for sure, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
That moment of silence was brought to you by Stephen Handsome Webb.
No, but I really do F with ducks. They be chilling, dude.
They do be chilling,
They're-
and they don't hiss and attack like John's geese friends.
Exactly. Yeah, they're the better version of geese.
Those geese were not my friends.
I would just like to go on record and say that at no point have I ever been the friend of a geese.
I'll be 6 feet under before I be caught respecting a goose.
I'll be 6'1" before I'm caught respecting a goose.
Speaking of funny communities, retirement communities.
Mm.
So for the subscribers back,
I see you have something you want to talk to us about, John.
guys, for the subscribers back home,
God. That's the name of the episode.
Yeah.
For the subscribers back home.
I first used this fun fact and I was out to dinner with my family. Our food came. There's a lull in conversation. I didn't know what to say. So I said, hey, did you guys know actually that the biggest syphilis outbreak in the US right now is in retirement communities? Because old people see no need for protection anymore and they're just here to fuck.
It's got to be a really enchanting life, man. Like, your kids are older if you had them. Like, you really have no responsibilities, no job. Your money situation's probably figured out, and all you have left to do is go out and fuck, dude.
Yeah, but you're also old as shit. That's probably not too enchanting.
Yeah.
Dylan is ageist, geeseist, heightist.
The latter for sure.
Dude, I heard retirement communities though, if you're a guy who like still has like your mental faculties
And
about you
prescription of Viagra.
and a prescription of Viagra, yeah, I'm assuming you're gonna need Viagra. At what age do you think like you definitely need Viagra? Like when do you think your last natural?
When was my last birthday?
60s probably.
You think-
I don't know, because the way I
Ooh,
look at
probably
it is
earlier
I
than that.
think because like the human body probably didn't evolve to have a super sexual lifespan past 60s because nobody really lived that long. And
60s
so
is very generous.
So
in that.
yeah, and like I was gonna say like probably later 40s, and yeah, because people never lived that long. I mean, yes, they did, but it was a lot more infrequent back then, back in the day. And now, people live forever, and that just wasn't the case up until like 150 years ago.
Well, the lifespan and average lifespan stats have improved a ton, but the vast majority of that is disease, war, famine, and like childhood
Child
mortality,
mortality.
in particular.
No, but the thing is, everybody lives long now.
Everybody lives relatively long compared to the past, for sure. But shockingly enough, the actual
No, I'm not talking about the
maximum
metrics.
of human lifespan has
no, I know.
barely-
Yeah, I know. Yeah. No, I get that. But
Yeah,
no,
there are
I'm-
reliable records of people literally in like BC times hitting 90s.
No, yeah, it definitely happened. But now what has changed is that everybody can live long now. People could live longer, but disease was the a big factor.
At least
child
speaking first
mortality.
world wise, yeah.
Yeah.
Your ballpark is a lot higher up, yeah.
So now this is gonna be something in my head that's gonna stick with me. Whenever I meet a man in their 60s, I'm just gonna be thinking, you've had your last organic boner. Natural erections are no longer a part of your life.
Dude, it seems like syphilis is God's final push to keep us humble. Like, you motherfuckers can't just keep living forever. You're gonna give into your base desires eventually, and syphilis is gonna level the playing field.
I don't know. I think taking away natural erections is a pretty good like nudge in the
Oh,
the
yeah.
ribs.
But we didn't get the hint is the problem. We invented Viagra to just sidestep that issue.
Well, actually,
Every day we stray further from God.
every day we stray further from God's light.
Yes, John? Is this further syphilis talk? Is this on your brain? Syphilis does
No, I
start
was gonna
to
say,
impact the brain.
I don't think syphilis is the final nudge because I heard that like as guys get older, you get closer to a 100% probability of getting prostate cancer. Apparently, if you live long enough as a guy and you don't die from anything else, you will get prostate cancer. And if you look into prostate cancer, it's a horrible process. because I did look into it. Just like when I was a kid and thought I was eventually going to get my appendix removed. So I looked way too into that. Still got my appendix for all the people at home.
We were worried.
I'm still whole.
I'm a whole person. I don't consider anybody who's had their appendix removed to be a full person.
Subhuman.
I don't have my tonsils or adenoids, but I like to see those as the training wheels of people. Like, you don't need those anymore as you become an adult. It's like wisdom teeth.
I'm appendixist.
But yeah, if you get your prostate removed, it's horrible. Like, if you guys ever see Zoolander where like his manager is like cheering at like getting like 2 drops of piss out because he has got hardcore prostate flare-ups. Yeah, dude, once you get your prostate removed, quality of life goes down.
Quality of urination goes down.
Apparently quality of everything goes down.
You've done the digging. We're here to hear from you.
Oh wow, I wasn't expecting to be an expert on this subject.
Just be listened to.
You know what I've heard though is that there have been 0 saltwater crocodiles that have died from natural causes. They all die because they get too big and they can't eat enough to sustain their size.
That's awesome.
So we've never seen a full-size saltwater crocodile, and they are, I think, one of the biggest animals out there. They can get like bigger than great white sharks, I think.
They can get legitimately like 18, 20, 22
Yeah, that's
feet long.
unfucking
It's
freaking real.
Yeah, 1,000, 1,200,
That's so
1,500
awesome.
pounds of crocodile.
We'd be living with dinosaurs for sure.
If only we had Steve Irwin here to protect us, because eventually that's going to happen. Like, it's only a matter of time, I think.
Before one hits its full size and achieves sentience.
Yeah, until we have Mega Godzilla.
Guys, actually, I tried to hit back for Steve Irwin when I was on vacation. I was swimming, and there was a stingray when I was snorkeling, and I touched it with my hand. You're not supposed to touch the animals, but hey, no one stopped me, and I got it.
It's a duck situation.
John, it sounds like you really should stop messing with wildlife. I think you might be breaking lots of laws with all these stories, actually.
Someone's got to let the stingray know that Steve Irwin still has shooters out here.
God, I love when John quotes memes in his own stories.
But also, so crocodiles aren't the only thing. Apparently, lobsters are technically immortal. They don't die from old age. What they happens is they just keep shedding their shell and they get bigger and bigger and bigger. And then eventually I think mostly they just can't move anymore because like, the water pressure.
Yeah, and surface area to volume stuff, they just become stationary. And yeah,
it's wild though,
sucks.
because like my 600-pound life and all those obesity shows are really just like the end phase of life for lobsters. Like they end up there eventually, regardless of health decisions.
That's actually how black holes are formed. It's just lobsters getting too big and then collapsing under their own gravity.
Oh, it's like
I don't think it's the same thing.
No, it is.
Lobsters keep getting bigger. Black holes start to suck everything in.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
I'm just saying, have you ever seen a lobster hit the end of its life yourself? Who
I
are
don't
you
know.
to say that that's
I've kissed
not what's
like
happening?
6 lobsters though. Let me know how many lobsters you kissed.
I've definitely seen lobsters hit the end of life because I've been at restaurants where they have a lobster tank and I've ordered lobster before. So I've at least been the catalyst for the end of their life.
I requested to be the one who killed it.
I was the judge, the jury, and the executioner.
and the taster.
One other animal I know that has different mechanism for it, but maybe the closest to true immortality of these 3 are jellyfish. But that's because they can basically reverse senesce into this like kind of pre-jellyfish, not embryo, but like halfway between polyp. I think it might be polyp is what they revert back into. But yeah, they can kind of like just reverse and restart their life cycle and literally live forever.
That's pretty chill.
What's crazy though is I did something like that in the first day of quarantine. So the first day of quarantine, when I had to work from home, I tried to work from home. My day started at 7:30 in the morning, and for the next 12 hours, I went through a horribly self-destructive cycle of watching Tiger King, eating, jerking off, and then taking a nap. And I did that cycle 4 times. So really, I like to think that I reverted back to like 13-year-old me. So
That's pretty close, yeah.
yeah, so I'm a jellyfish.
That's John the Jelly. When you were jerking off, was that 2 Tiger King or how'd that go out?
No, so actually, I don't really like outside stimulus as much. I know some people are really big in watching porn. I am Imagiwack.
Oh, that sounds magical.
Yeah, so like
Magical.
girls I'm talking to, have talked to, a mildly attractive girl that I think that I even might eventually have a shot with, probably jerked off to you.
I think any girl, there's a lot of them that listen to this podcast that hears this and then meets you will want to not meet you.
Oh wow, there's girls that listen to this podcast.
At least one.
Wait, who? Okay, I could probably figure this out through context clues.
Yeah, I believe in you.
Yeah, it's my mom.
Yeah, no, I do think that
Great content for your mom.
Yeah, she
Wait.
loves it.
I was set up so well too to do well that now her friends are gonna hear it, and after my great icebreaker question for them.
Anyway, I think you might be in the minority with the Imagiwack, at least given the comforts of first world smartphone-age and Wi-Fi.
So at first I thought I was not in the minority, but after asking every single guy who I've run into in the last 24 hours about it, I know I'm in the minority.
It's not as good. That's
Yeah.
less efficient.
Yeah, dude, I'm a minority in Biden's America. It's crazy.
Now's your time.
You could be applying for scholarships with this. I Imagiwack only.
I don't know if I can how do I put that on a resume, but like make it, should I just like really amplify my creativity skills or something? Oh, I could put it on LinkedIn, like imagination, and then see how many sponsorships.
Oh
I
yeah,
get.
I'll endorse you for that.
Hell yeah. Man.
And then when it asks me, I'll say worked with closely.
We've had close worked on the same project before.
Yeah. Man.
I think given the choice, I would rather use my phone and sample the beauty that is the internet than be stuck inside my own head for those minutes.
Yeah, I leave it to the professionals.
Well,
Or the amateurs.
Yeah, right.
well, the thing is though, like when I watch porn, I feel like I lose so much time just like flipping through random things, you know, like just trying to find the perfect video.
Right.
And I just realized I was really leaving like a lot on the table time wise, you know, like I'm taking all this time to like go and find the perfect video, and perfection is the enemy of progress.
It sounds like you need to just sit down and have some hard reflection about what interests you so that you have more than zero idea at all when you go to find a video.
Well, dude, I just keep Googling naked women, and it's really hard to sort out the correct video from that.
Big, naked boobies.
Sometimes I just search nipples and just see what happens.
Did anybody else get a talking to in your childhood because the computer search history wasn't something you understood until past middle school?
I actually had two great talkings to from my father because I was his firstborn son, and he hates both these stories. Now that I'm old enough, I say I'm in mixed company all the time, and he hates them both equally. So I technically had two sex talks. Both were as indirect and as uninformative as possible, and they both came a year too soon, so I was just left devastated and confused. The first one, he came into my room with a Christmas catalog from Victoria's Secret.
That's devastating.
I was in my bedroom doing, you know, something innocent because this is before you jerk off all the time and try to hide it. And he gave me this.
Hide it.
He gave me this magazine and said, "Don't tell your mom." And then he left. And I had no context for that. So I'm flipping through and there's no naked, you know, but like they're all wearing like, I'm like, is this like for a Christmas gift for mom? She doesn't wear any of this stuff.
I've never seen her in these.
She doesn't look like these people. I don't know if she would like this. So he told me to keep it under my bed before he left.
Look like these people.
He told me to keep it under my bed. I put it under my bed and I forgot. And then when eventually puberty hit, I was like, oh. And the second one was, I don't know if anyone ever has watched Weeds.
Yeah.
Okay, you know the monologue Uncle Andy does to Shane where he talks about masturbation?
Banana.
With all the innuendo and all that.
Yeah.
So my dad said, I need to show you something important. And he showed me that video a year too soon. And it was like, and that's all you need to know.
That's like a TV mature show, and he just gave you the clip that they comedically did to address the sex talk, and he's like, yeah, this should cover all the fucking bases.
Except the thing is,
it wasn't even the sex talk, it was just the jerking off talk.
The thing was though, it happened a year too soon. So I was like, what was that?
Is that where I heard about microwave a banana peel, but not too long?
Yeah, microwave the banana peel so that way it has the real feel sensation.
I imagine your dad like walking out of this like conversation like, you know, it's a tough one, but every dad's got to go through it. And you know what? You did good.
Patting himself on the back.
Yeah, exactly.
You can tell he owns his own business because technically he outsourced my masturbation education. He gave me
contract work if I've ever heard it.
He just left me a training video that he found from watching Weeds. He's like, yeah, this will do the job. My kid's going to be so prepared.
Would you rather have stumbled through completely on your own, like I guess at school and with the internet and your own imagination, the process of birds and the bees and sex and what all that is? Or would you rather have had, like, let's say at the right time, a sit down where a parent is like, bump, 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 gives you all the details, like tells it to you straight?
So I kind of did because I didn't remember the video. When puberty hit, I just kind of filed away in the back of my mind. I was like, oh,
Repressed it.
that was a weird father-son experience. I don't know what that was about. And then I moved on. But I feel like, when you first learn how to jerk off, you don't know like the technique. I remember just like fucking hump a pillow or something and be like, oh, this feels good. And then something happened. And I was like, ah!
Just kind of let it spray everywhere. Like, oh God.
If you haven't been grinding on the couch face down, then I don't know what kind of childhood you had.
Oh, also for weird beliefs, I also for some reason growing up thought that everyone had penises. I thought girls had girl penises and I thought boys had boy penises, And then the first time
That's the patriarchy.
the first time that I saw like porn on a computer, I stumbled upon it.
Where is it?
Yeah.
No, I was terrified and I thought it was like, what happened to this poor lady? It looked like she just like sat on a grenade and I thought it was the remains from shrapnel or something. I was like, what happened to her penis? That's horrible. It's just a hole. And then that scared me away from porn for a solid little
That
while.
was the third time that you were pushed farther away from healthy sex habits.
And that's how I got pushed into hentai. I was way more approachable.
Dude, yeah, I remember when my search history was found. And the thing is, like, I knew about deleting my search history too. And then I just got kind of brazen and lazy with it and like just stopped deleting. I was like, they're never.
Oh, I
gonna
thought you were
check this
brave.
shit.
You were just lazy.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. I wasn't brave. Defiantly keeping my history. Like, you know what? This is who I am. And if my parents see this, then so be it. Because I want them to see the real me. No. Yeah. My dad saw it, and then he had to talk with me, and I still like vividly remember just how like hot I felt at the time, in a bad way, not in a good way, but like just like red in the face, like this needs to end. I can't be having this conversation right now. I think I was like 13 or 12. I don't know.
I think I might be able to outshame you guys on this one, because when I was in 6th grade or so, we have family computer upstairs, and what I had been told about at school, and as a stupid middle schooler had to check out for myself, some depraved fucker in my class was telling me about a video he had seen thanks to his older brother that involved a girl and a horse. And I said, no fucking way, and tried to find that and didn't clear the search history.
Oh no, dude.
Wow.
So let me tell you about that shameful heat feeling when it's your stepdad who finds that and says, I think we need to have a talk about your computer use.
Especially when your family owns horses.
You're fucking right.
Oh no.
I just look out the window every day and I think, what if?
Actually, speaking of videos with horses,
God.
I found out one of my new favorite activities is telling my mom about inappropriate internet culture. So this is during vacation 2 weeks ago. She found out about the video Mr. Hands, which was the
Yeah.
Russian dude who got boned by a horse and then died. And she wanted details. She's like, what? And I was like,
How many hands was this horse?
Wait a
What
second.
breed?
Wait a second. Did she want details or did she say what? Those are two different things.
Yes. Good distinction.
My mom said what? So, I'm
I
gonna
kept
be-
talking. I
Yeah.
gave her the link.
I actually don't understand what the distinction would be.
Okay, fair enough.
I just look for any reason to make them uncomfortable now because I think it's funny.
Right.
But I told her about it. I'm like, yeah, this guy's into bestiality. He wanted a big dick and he fucked a horse, and the horse literally murdered him because horse penises, Zane knows because his was it stepdad had horses? Yeah, horse dicks way larger than average. Like
Than average human dick?
Yeah,
Yes, I would
was
fucking
way,
guess so.
way larger than
I
average.
think that's accurate enough.
Just
way
the
lar-
average dick in the animal kingdom.
way
The average horse dick is larger than the average horse dick.
not the biggest, not the biggest in the animal kingdom. I think that distinction belongs to blue whales.
Blue whales.
They are hung. They're technically the Ron Jeremys of
The animal kingdom?
exactly.
Technically, yeah, you're right.
They're mammalian too, so you can't even say, "Oh, it's a different genus" or whatever. I think genus is
It's a different genus, but kingdom, yeah.
Kingdom.
Animal kingdom is the actual distinction is kingdom, yeah.
sorry. I don't like
Animalia.
talking about monarchies because, like, we broke away from England, so I wouldn't have to care about monarchies. So I try not to address monarchies even when talking about animals.
Yeah,
So-
Zane's reminiscent of the caste system. I
Whoa.
get it, dude. I get it.
Jesus. Well, I think we should switch things up into a more comfortable, more commonly traveled path for our podcast and bring this home with some would you rathers. We have a couple that the fellas OG did not get to in a previous episode because we needed your expertise. Are you ready?
Yes.
All right. Correct me if I'm incorrect on this, Steve, but would you rather be twice as strong with your fingers and your ears, or would you rather crawl twice as fast as you can run?
Twice as strong.
No, it's twice as strong, but only while your fingers are in your ears.
You wrote and, not in.
Oh, that makes it okay.
Or be able to crawl twice as fast as you can run.
Thanks for the
Oh,
correction.
crawl twice as fast as I could run. Imagine being twice as fast as I am now.
Yeah.
That'd be insane. I'm not
be
that
almost
fast, but
fast.
like being doubly fast, that's awesome.
The thing
That'd be
is, too,
fantastic.
If you
That'd be
train,
absolutely wonderful.
if you train your sprinting too, your crawling doubles. Like your
Oh my
sprint
god,
speed.
that'd be unbelievable. So okay, it goes up with how fast you are regularly too. Oh my god, that would be fantastic.
Imagine that, just like you're on the starting block at the Olympics, and when everyone else breaks into like an upright sprint, you just go down further into a crawl, speeding past all of them.
Well, actually, I think you guys are thinking of like professional sports. I'm thinking of the ludicrously successful career I could have as working in a haunted house. I'd be dressed up like the Exorcist girl who does like the crab walk and all that, but instead I would just furiously crawl at people at warp
40 miles an
speed.
hour.
I would definitely get
Did you
kicked.
guys see that?
I would definitely get kicked by so many people. I would just run in the background. I just crawl in the back of the back. Whoa, what was that? It's me.
You could be a pretty successful defensive end like bear crawling is a strategy for that low block when you're trying to get through the line in football. And if you could crawl forward at 40 miles an hour,
I'm too small for that. They just step on me.
you'd be past
It
them.
doesn't matter how fast
You'd
I
be
am.
past them.
Oh wait, no
just
defensive
shoot under
end.
their
No,
legs.
on offense, I think I might be. Oh no, that'd be technically down, right? You have a one hand and then both legs are up, right? You're not down,
Yeah, both legs are up off the ground. You have to
Right.
be on one hand.
right? Now crawling would be, you could be on your feet and a hand, right?
So,
take away probably 30% of my speed, but it's still one.
It's still a crawl.
1.75.
When you say crawl, do you mean like crawl like baby style, or you mean like bear crawl?
either.
Like am I on my knees or
Either.
either?
Yeah.
That's very versatile.
I like
definitely
baby
want that
crawl though.
skill.
If we had to pick one.
Yeah, me too. I mean,
Hands and
that'd be-
knees.
That'd be hell on your knees.
Knee
if you're
pads, yeah.
Traveling at like 20 miles an
Yeah.
hour, just banging
Yeah.
your knees into the floor.
Okay, but devil's advocate for twice strength while fingers in ears.
yeah. I mean, you'd have some strong
I'm
kicks,
not even
man.
that strong though, so even if I were to get to like my peak physical ability as I am now, it's like, I mean, how practical would that be? Because it's not like it'd be insane, like it'd be inhuman how strong I could be. It'd be inhuman how fast I could be.
You could
Doubling
just-
my speed being like, even if I was like average speed, I'd be, way above the competition.
I think one of the best ways to play out these would you rathers is trying to creatively think of ways to
would win
monetize
in
it
a
or
fight?
make a career out of it. Well, that's where I'm thinking.
Me.
Could you imagine yourself in the octagon competing for the UFC? Right when the bell dings, you just stick both fingers in your ears and then go to kick them and just blow him into the back
I
wall.
see. I still think they'd be a lot more competitive, even if I had double strength. I don't
Even if
think
they
I'm that
block.
strong.
Even if they block, if you have double the power kick, you're going to be breaking bones. Like, I think you
Wow.
can
Okay.
win just by making contact.
I could see that.
And then people will want to be trained by you, and you'll have to explain that the whole secret to your incredible power is just plugging your ears with your fingers.
Well, actually, though, like, did you guys see like the UFC fight like that happened a couple weeks ago? Like Chris Weidman, just because you're strong, would your bones be stable? Because he lost his fight without the other guy even
Oh my
throwing a single
God.
strike. He leg kicked off the bat, hit him super hard. The guy checked it, his leg just split, shin cracked, and then he pulled back and tried to step on it, and it was like he was trying to stabilize on a tentacle. He just went down immediately.
Yeah, dude, that thing went total spaghetti.
Same
mode
thing
on
happened
him.
to Anderson Silva, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Who he beat
I
too.
think there's been 3 cases, and the people involved in 2 of them were the same or something
Yeah,
crazy.
Chris
Like,
Weidman was involved in both. One, he like was the one who caused it, and then it happened to him. So you can really say karma.
I was going to
guess.
say that's karma, if anything. Well, given
I
that
don't
the
know
bones,
if it's karma, right?
given that the bones,
Devil's advocate here.
given that the bones don't double in strength, just your power does.
Yep.
I'm going to go with the crawl speed.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah.
Are we all agreeing on this?
Then
one?
again,
For
there's
both-
also impact to your body from doubling speed, like loads on your shoulders. That's probably it because you're taking less load on your legs, but your arms are supporting all that weight and going 20. Imagine tripping going 20 miles an hour on your shoulder. That's
20
not
miles
fun.
an hour is like human sprint speed. 40 is not an inaccurate crawl double. That's what I'm using 40.
I don't think I could run 20 miles an hour. I think I could run probably 14, maybe.
If you
On a good day.
If you math out a great sprint, like in the
So, yeah,
10, 12.
So 38. So
second-
yeah, we'll say 40, I guess. But
Yeah.
that's really fast. That's breaking bones in and of itself if you trip that up.
Imagine how yoked though your delts would be, and imagine explaining to people that like your shoulder workout is just crawling.
At incredible speeds. All right. I think we're all on the same page in this one. I think double crawl speed blows it out
Yep.
the water.
Yep.
We have one other that we need your help with before we break for the day.
Would you guys rather have all your thoughts appear in like a thought bubble above your head at all times? Or would you rather
That other people could see.
Yes, that other people could see. Or would you rather be live streamed 24/7?
I would absolutely not want my thoughts advertised because I like having friends.
Yeah.
What is that supposed to mean, John? We're your friends.
I think
For now, because we don't know what he's thinking.
I think a lot of weird stuff and a lot of off-color stuff goes through my head. I say a lot of stuff that comes to mind without filter, but there's more stuff that I do filter.
Believe
out.
it or not, there is a filter
That
in
does
there.
surprise me, truthfully.
Yeah, I didn't even have to hear the second one, regardless of what the second one is. I
Or
was just-
die right now.
yeah, like, you know what? Quality of life. Yeah.
It would just wouldn't it just change the way you live? I mean, the live stream one probably would, but the thought bubble, you don't think that you're going to get enough feedback to condition yourself one way or another or change things or
Yeah.
be that guy?
No, because then I think I kind of have like the call of the void, so to speak, you know, where it's like
basically
the
Louis CK's
worst.
comedy.
Yeah, but you know, where it's like, oh, like I know I can't think this, now I'm definitely gonna think it.
Oh yeah, yeah. You have much less control.
Well, if you see the thought bubble above your head, don't say blank, don't say blank, don't say blank is the thought.
Yep.
Oh,
God, I
Dave-
hope I don't say the N word. It's just in your head.
God,
Yeah.
I hope I don't, because sometimes I just do on accident. It just slips out.
every date I have would be an abject failure.
Actually, I think you might have hit the correct answer immediately because there are people that just live stream themselves 24/7 and they seem to be mentally unwell but very wealthy at least.
Dude, there's this hotel in Japan that you can stay at for free, and the catch is that they live stream your hotel room on the internet
That's
for people to watch.
wow.
That is
Yeah.
such an interesting
I wonder
business
what kind of
concept.
revenue they make too.
More than the renting would be.
I imagine. Yeah, that's really really cool. That's some ingenuity right there. That's
you guys-
really cool.
Do you guys think you would stay there?
Yes, but with a very
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
specific like plan for what I'm going to be doing in this hotel room.
Depends. Will the audience be anyone I know, or just like this random Asian audience? Like, would I just? be
Yeah, I
like,
don't think it's a very popular live stream in the States.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, no, I'd stay there like rent free.
Yeah.
I'm good for that.
Stay
Yeah,
there forever.
Yeah, I don't care if a bunch of strangers don't speak the same language as me, who I will never have any interaction with, think I'm a fucking weirdo. Like,
What kind of weird stuff would you do?
What about us thinking you're a fucking weirdo?
Too late on that
Yeah,
one.
that's what I'm saying.
I don't think I do anything that weird in hotel rooms.
But
then again,
knowing
you're
that you're-
conscious of it. You know it. It's like you're not completely natural.
yeah, so would you do anything weird on purpose? I'm saying knowing that people are watching.
I think I'm weird enough.
oh, to like try to boost my viewership.
Yeah, exactly.
What, just like
Yeah, I'm trying to be the most popular hotel room in this place.
I would select the would you rather answer of always live streamed and then go to this hotel and also be live streamed and ascend.
And see which one does better.
Nice. Yeah.
Just get them to like multiply off each other, viewers back and forth. It becomes the #1 program in the world.
I'm basically just cool with anything but the thought bubble.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm with you on that
I can
one.
get on board with that.
Thought bubble's a hard no for me in general. I'm pretty much cool with any situation aside from that.
We're good?
Yeah. Yeah, we're good.
I was- I was thinking about doing one more, but
I hate it.
yeah, it's kind of dark.
Well,
and
if
it
you
looks like-
if you hate it, and I kind of want to hear it.
You
It's
can't
not
just
a happy one.
you can't leave the subscribers at home hanging like this. We need to know.
Go ahead,
All right.
Steve. Fine.
Would you rather be on death row for a crime you didn't commit, but someone you did love like got away with the crime and you have been blamed for it, or would you rather have someone you love on death row for a crime that you committed?
Yeah, exactly.
This sounds really selfish, but I didn't really have to give much thought.
Well, it depends. Well, it depends. Like, I mean, I love a lot of people. It depends on like who, if immediate family member.
Yeah.
So
We'll say your brother.
my brother,
Yeah.
I think I'd take the bullet for my brother.
Yeah.
I think it
But
depends
like,
on the crime.
like going to my parents, like I would want to take the bullet for them, but I know they would never want that.
Right.
So
right,
I
right.
might not take the bullet. Like,
Take the
you know,
chance.
let's. I mean, I don't even care if people think it's selfish, but like, I know that my parents would have wanted to take the bullet
Yeah,
instead.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah, my
so
mom
I
says
think,
that type of
yeah.
shit
So if it was my
often
brother, yeah. One of you guys,
enough. Depends on the crime. Depends on the
TBD. We'll see how many gifts I get.
It's a tough answer. It's a tough question to look at.
It's tough. I think it depends how old the person is. If it's someone like younger, like if it's a young person, I'd be more inclined. I'm still pretty against it, to be honest.
Goose, that thing's going on death row for sure. A goose is going on death row. Then again, I
yeah.
wouldn't love a goose.
There's no
I
lost.
would never love a goose.
Wouldn't be caught dead.
There's no lost love between me and the geese.
But what about a duck? I'd die for a duck.
All right.
Dude, you can't
I guess
play
we're
my
putting people on the
heartstrings
spot
like
on this episode.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
I'd take the bullet for the duck.
Yeah.
No
every time.
question, dude.
Yeah.
I would just go to the park and get like 5 more. I'd be the Pied Piper of ducks. I would just constantly replace I would just keep refueling with more ducks to feed my crime
You
sprees.
tried to do this with the geese and it didn't work.
Yeah, but geese are so much more aggressive, and ducks I feel like are far more docile. I'd sacrifice so many ducks to get away with my crime spree.
Isn't the crime spree killing ducks? That seems kind of redundant.
They're committing the crimes. At least everybody thinks they are.
Yeah,
They think this flock
Oh,
of ducks is responsible. I do think, and I hate to bring it back to an even sadder level, but I think we're missing the question. It's not like, would you for this person, or in this case, it's would you rather be blamed and innocent and your loved one did the crime and is free? Or would you rather do the crime and be free and
Yeah,
your
no,
loved
take
one is
the
blamed to
bullet.
die?
Yeah.
Oh, the second one, because I hate being blamed for things I didn't do. I hate it when someone.
And I hate dying.
Yeah, I definitely hate dying.
Those
Those-
are two things I hate so much.
Those are my 2 least favorite things: dying and being blamed for things that I haven't done. So it's like it'd be so frustrating to be like, "No, I didn't do it." Like when someone's like, "Oh, you're lying," I'm like, "No, I didn't lie. This is real, and I will prove it."
Almost
also,
as
would you
frustrating
rather?
as death.
Also, it depends what the crime is too, though. Because like if I'm in death row, if I'm like accused of like no, actually, if it was like molesting a kid, like someone I love molested a kid,
Yeah, the
like,
guilty person's getting it.
Oh, okay, yeah. It depends on the crime too.
But in either scenario, the
guilty
guilty person is
person
not
doesn't
getting
get
it. Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, I think it was. I'd
Terrible.
depend.
Terrible.
Ducks are blameless in any situation, though. To be
It's
honest,
unwinnable. I think I would not do well with the guilt of having gotten away with something and a loved one dying. I think I'm going to take the pussy answer and go to the chair.
The self-sacrificial martyr is the
Yeah.
pussy answer. I'd say blaming the other person and living and just posting your crimes on someone else is the pussy answer. I'd say you are the far more honorable
No,
answer.
dude. Jesus was a total pussy when he died for our sins.
And on that note, thanks for listening.